Miss Clay Edmond, you are in court on behalf of your son, DeAnthony, who tragically died in a car accident.
Yes, Your Honor.
You want to prove that he is not the biological father of the defendant's 2-year-old daughter, Debria. You say Miss Rudolph is trying to swindle money from the family, and you have evidence to prove another man is the father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Rudolph, you say this baby was planned by you and the deceased, Mr. Clay, and you are adamant he is the father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Clay Edmond, why do you believe she's claiming this baby is your son?
Because she's a gold digger and she's looking for somebody to take care of her baby.
And that's the only reason?
That's the only reason I can see at this point.
And so elaborate, ma'am.
The day my son died, it was tragic. So the next day, I get a call from Miss Rudolph through Messenger, Facebook, claiming that my son, which died the day before, that he was the father of her then 1-year-old, or going to be 1-year-old at the time.
Did your son ever say anything about the baby, a 1-year-old?
No, Your Honor. I didn't know anything about the baby or her. Miss Rudolph.
And were you and your son very close?
Yes, Your Honor. We was very close. When she first came to me, yes, I wanted to accept the baby because she said this was my son, baby. I'm hurting. Anything connected to him, I wanted to be a part of. So when all of this went about, we accepted the baby, we put her on their obituary, we bought her things for Christmas, we did all of that. Then after all of this went down, that's when we started getting messages from different people saying that she was doing this for money, that it was another young man named on the birth certificate, and the little baby had another man's name.
Okay, that was a mouthful. Miss Rudolph, were you in a relationship with DeAnthony?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you all were in a relationship for about how long before his passing?
4 or 5 months.
And you say he lived with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you aware that your son was living with?
No, ma'am.
A woman?
No, ma'am.
Continue. He moved in with you, and you say you planned
Both
this baby?
of us planned to have this baby. No, they were not around. No, I did not meet them. We both planned this.
He was already in a relationship. It's an on and off thing with the previous baby mama. They was at an off, and she just so happened to be the one he dealt with, I guess, for as whatever.
And these are pieces of the puzzle you've put together now after the fact, because you're saying when your son was alive, he never spoke of Miss Rudolph. He never spoke of the baby.
No, he never spoke of her.
But you did testify that when you first heard about Debria, you accepted her because you felt like that was a piece of your son.
That's what at first.
And so when she first messaged you, you accepted the baby. You said you started buying things for the baby?
Yes, I bought her stuff for the funeral, and then we also bought stuff for Christmas.
All right.
So, you know.
And at what point then, you have tragically lost your son, and I'm so very sorry for your loss. You lose your son. You find out he has a baby, an almost 1-year-old child, and you say, well, this is a piece of him. I am going to embrace this child.
Yes.
At what point do things turn bad?
When I started receiving phone calls about the other guy being the baby's father.
Who was calling you? What happened?
I mean, different people that know of her. You know, like I said, I don't know her, so I can't say. I can only go what they was calling me. And then also the fact the guy that's supposed to be the baby dad, I heard a conversation that we was all on the 3-way, and he's telling me about her telling him she knew 100% sure he was the father before he signed the birth certificate.
Excuse me.
So another man said he was the biological father of Debria.
Yes.
Excuse me.
And your son was not.
Yes.
And he signed the birth certificate.
Yes.
Miss Rudolph, how do you respond to that?
After I cut him off and had no dealings with him, I got back with my baby's father.
And the only reason why you did it because you want to get back with him, so that's why you did what you did.
No.
But you're not gonna stand here and tell this judge that my son planned a baby with you. He can't take care of himself. So why in the world would he get with a young lady whom he just met and plan a baby? He is not that baby's father because when he asked her, she told him, we have no
Wait a minute, you
ties
said you
together.
never heard of Miss Rudolph.
Thank you.
You said you never heard of Miss Rudolph.
Not for say as her, it's just a baby. When I went to him, I said, DeAnthony, if that baby is yours, you need to step up and be a father to her if it's yours. He said, Mama, I've been trying to talk to this girl when she first said something about the baby. He's not referring to Brittany. He referring me as her. So her can be anybody.
All right, I'd like to hear from your witness. Ma'am, please stand. State your name for the court.
My name is Ashley.
Ashley, last name?
Clay.
You are
DeAnthony's cousin, first cousin.
his first cousin.
Sister, all of that.
Okay.
Best friend, everything.
Okay.
Everything.
All right. If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell.
I know that there's another guy on the birth certificate that is not DeAnthony's.
Does anyone have the birth certificate here?
Yeah, he on.
You do?
Yeah.
Jerome, will you please hand that to me?
Thank you.
This is the birth certificate for Debria Taylor Rudolph.
Yes, Your Honor.
And there is another man listed.
Yes, Your Honor.
So did you think about putting DeAnthony's name on the birth certificate since you believe he was truly the biological father, Miss Rudolph?
To be honest, I was gonna take that off and put nobody up there.
Yeah, and I also got a picture of the other guy that's supposed to be listed
Right.
on the birth
Holding the
certificate.
baby.
He has a whole bunch of pictures of her. He has
Yes,
a whole bunch of
whole lot of them.
He has a whole bunch of
But he's not the dad.
Okay.
It don't matter.
All right, let me see.
don't matter.
Let me see this. Jerome, will you pass me this evidence?
Where does my son fit in all of this? Why didn't he get that chance? Why didn't he get a chance to hold her?
Thank
Why
you.
didn't he get the chance to say this was his
'Cause
baby?
she
He went on
So
the
hold on, Miss Clay. I'd like you to describe to the court. What is this picture of? This is
That's a picture of Debria as she was an infant, looked like, and it says daddy and princess.
Right.
Oh.
And that's not my cousin.
What is a person to think when they see something like this after you done told me that my son was the daddy, and then I get to see this and all of this other stuff? So that's why I told her, let's do a DNA, and that will cut out the lies that he said, she said, that they said.
Let me understand this. So you tried to get a DNA test. You requested it.
Yeah.
And you're saying Miss
It
Rudolph
came
would
through
not
an
respond?
argument. We was arguing.
It doesn't
and
matter
she
whether
said,
it
"I
came
will
through an
pay for
argument,
it."
whether it came
They
through a
never
letter,
came to
whether
me
it came
saying,
through
"Let's
whatever.
do the test."
You did not do the test.
They
Simple
never
and
came to
point
me
blank,
saying,
period.
let's do the test. It came through an argument. I told them, yes, we can
What
do a
argument, though?
test.
What argument? I don't.
Through Facebook.
Okay, what the argument was about? The lies.
The child.
The lies.
It was
That's what
basically
it's
about the
never about
lies.
the child. The child is innocent. The child is innocent,
Very
baby.
innocent.
That's what it's about. The child
The
is
lies that you've been
We're
telling.
here because you
That's hidden
lied
secrets.
about who was the daddy from the beginning. You just don't know what you have done because for one, you got a whole nother family that thought this baby was there, that they's taking care of this baby,
They
keeping
never
this
took
baby.
care of my child.
It doesn't matter, but you done
They
told
never.
these people that.
So-
why would you put his name on
the
there
birth
knowing
Because
that?
I was with him.
And it was
And-
a lie.
and
Guess who do things like that? People who don't know who their baby father are.
I know who he was.
People who don't know who their baby father are.
All I want is the truth, and she's not gonna stand here and tell you my son playing the baby when I know good God doggone well he can't even take care of himself. I was taking care of DeAnthony. All I want to know is the truth, and the truth being why is it so hard
Well,
for
I'm
us
here
to
because she ain't gonna
believe?
downgrade my cousin's name. He's not here to support himself. He's in the ground, and I want to know if he was here, would you have told him, "Oh, this is your baby"?
No.
Since he's here, because you did
No.
not
I
tell him
wanna
that when he was
say
alive.
nothing.
All right. Ma'am, I'd like to hear from you. Please stand. State your name for the court.
I'm Kiara Gaston.
Miss Gaston. I can see you were very emotional sitting there. Who are
I'm
you?
here because I was there the whole time. That's why I'm here.
So you was there when
I
he
was
got
there
the baby?
when he told, I was there, Your Honor, when DeAnthony told my cousin he wanted to have a baby girl. He wanted Brittany to have his baby girl. I was there. I was there when she found out she was pregnant. I went with her to the clinic. She called DeAnthony. He was at her house. We all stayed together. He was at the house. Brittany called him and told him she was pregnant. He was happy at first. It's like when he found out he had another baby on the way, and she found out that he was talking to other females. That's when he wanted to switch it up and make it seem like he didn't want the baby no more. That's why she said that she didn't want no dealings with him. And they don't even know. They was not
So at
there.
any point, did he accept this child? He was still on this earth for almost a year, and the child was here, alive and well. Did he accept Debria? Did he ever see her, hold her, spend time with her?
No, Your Honor.
Never. Never laid eyes on her.
Never seen.
He seen a picture of her.
We all seen a picture.
And
of
that I'm talking to the judge. He seen a picture of her. He wrote me in my inbox before he died and was like, "Do I have could he see a picture of the baby?" When I sent the picture, he was saying and I had a proof right here if you want to see it.
Yes, I'd like to see that, please. Jerome, will you please hand me that evidence? He sent you a message. It says, "Hey, how you been?" Straight. "Could you send me some pics of your beautiful girl?" Response, "For what?" "I just wanted to see her, but never mind, Britt." You presented this evidence to say he reached out to see a picture of the baby.
Yes, ma'am. And
Did
if
you
it
send the
wasn't
picture of the baby?
Yes, ma'am. And if I'm saying, if it wasn't his baby and if he didn't care, he wouldn't even want to see a picture of her. He wouldn't be studying her, period.
Your Honor, I just don't believe he got with her now, and to say, I want this young lady right here that got other kids, not sure who her baby dad is, to be the father of her baby.
Your Honor.
Come on. And then
Just
far
like
as
she
seeing
said,
a
he
picture,
didn't-
if
he
he
can't
want,
take care of himself.
Who wouldn't want
She
to see a
said this
picture?
man can't take care of himself. He's
didn't.
staying with my cousin. We
Okay, then.
teenagers. Of course, teenagers gonna have sex. That's just normal if they stand together. He told her he wanted her to have his baby girl. He
All right.
told her that.
All right,
Hey, can I
listen.
say something?
Listen, yes, ma'am.
And
What
she
would you
don't
like to
even know
add
what's
before we
going
go
on.
to the results, Ms.
She
Fowler?
wouldn't even know.
My cousin came to me.
She was not there.
My cousin was at my house
She wasn't
every
there.
day. I'm talking
You wasn't there.
24/7, 7 days
You
a week.
weren't.
When I got off
I
work,
was.
he was at my house.
Just a minute.
Like I said, he was my brother. He was there. One morning, I wakes up, he in the living room, sitting down. He like, "Cuz." I'm like, "What's going on, cuz?" He was like, "Man, this girl trying to say, she pregnant with my baby." I'm like, "Who?" I said, "Well, did you ask her, is it your baby? Or do you feel like it's your baby?" He said, "No." I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, did you ask her, is it your baby?" He said, "She told me no." I said, "Well, okay, what kind of chick is she?" He explained to me what kind of female she was. I said, that's what she is. But I told him, I
They
said,
don't even know me.
I said,
But listen.
We don't know
They
you.
heard.
You
They know
incorrect.
what
We
Dred
don't know.
But at the end of the day, ladies, let's get some order. At the end of the
day.
day, through this testimony, what I am finding to be true is that Debria was born, and on 2 occasions with you, Ms. Clay Edmond, his mother, he mentioned that there was a baby.
Yes, he did.
And then with his cousin, Miss Clay, he mentioned there was a baby.
Yes, he did.
He didn't believe he was the father of this baby.
because she told him that he
And
wasn't.
that's why we're here, Your Honor. We're
He
not
told-
trying to say that he could never be the dad or nothing like that.
That's
Just-
my point. Do you want the results?
I do.
Yeah.
I
All
do.
right, let's get them. Jerome?
Because I know him.
And I want to know if he was alive. Like, would you have still let this man?
We're
this is
here
your
just to
child.
see
If he was
if this
alive to
baby
this day, Your
belong to
Honor,
us
what,
or not.
what would
Go
we be
ahead,
here
Your
today?
Honor. Just
Would we be
question.
here today if he was alive, Your Honor? That's my whole situation.
All
That's
right.
my whole. I'm like, ooh.
Do we want to get the results?
Yeah, we want to.
All right. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. Because there wasn't a blood card available to test the DNA of the deceased, DeAnthony Clay, we performed a DNA test with his surviving parent, Rashawn Clay Edmond. In the case of Clay Edmond versus Rudolph, when it comes to 2-year-old Debria Rudolph, it has been determined by this court the percentage of relatedness between Ms. Clay Edmond and Debria Rudolph is 99.98%.
Thank you.
Okay, so what?
Okay, well, good. I'm glad. I have closure now.
You are suing your mother for paternity fraud and are here to prove that Mr. Moore is your biological father, even though your mother put another man's name on your birth certificate. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Ms. Harris, you're certain Mr. Moore is not your daughter's father and claim her case of paternity fraud is outrageous.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you plan to prove that today.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Moore is currently waiting outside the courtroom. We will hear from him in a moment. But first, Ms. Robinson, why did you wait 36 years to come to court?
Honestly, Your Honor, I don't feel that I'm the one that waited the 36 years. I feel that my mom waited 36 years to help me find who my father is. And I have always, tried to ask her about my father. I guess it was a part of her past she didn't just want to bring up. So it always got pushed to the back burner. Or I was told, get the hell out of her face, leave her alone, don't ask any questions about it, you know who your dad is.
She's lying. I've always told her who her dad was. And to my knowledge,
Who was supposed to be my dad?
It's not Mr. Moore. I had already moved on.
But the
I
other
was very
guys that
young.
she says is my father, I look nothing like.
And you don't
They
look
have
like,
never
and she
claimed
doesn't look
me.
like him either.
So
I look like
I've
him.
never kept secrets from her, Your Honor. I've always been honest to the best of my ability
That's
to
not
her.
true. We were supposed to come here 3 weeks ago, and my mom, for some reason, she was nervous.
It wasn't that I was nervous. I just didn't want to come here at that time to listen to any more of their lies.
Yeah, nobody wanted to deal with the past, but I'm the past.
Because,
I need a
Ms.
dad.
Harms, in your mind, you're saying, I know who your father is and I already told you.
Yes, ma'am. I had already moved on. He is not your father. I
When
don't
you
think
say you had already moved on, explain that. You're saying you moved on from
Mr. Moore. I never thought he was a father because I had already moved on, Your Honor.
So you're saying you got pregnant after you already moved on away from him, so there's no way he could be your biological father, so you didn't even feel like there was any reason to entertain that.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Robinson, why are you so convinced that he is a possibility?
Your Honor, I'm convinced because I've heard a lot of rumors in the small town we're from in Arkansas. Everybody says that this man is my dad. He's always came to me and said he's my dad.
Really?
But the thing was, I was always being sent with the other man. So if
Excuse me, Your Honor, that's another lie. She was never been sent
Yes, I was
with
being
another
sent
man.
to another man's
No,
mother's house.
no, you were not. That is a lie, Your Honor. I don't know where she's getting this
Who
from.
was my grandma
And
all my life?
Your Honor, what is she saying? This rumor has it. That's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, what, does she think she looked like Mr. Moore?
Yes, I do.
Why? Because nose? She's got a normal nose, Your Honor.
No.
And,
It's not a normal
millions of
nose,
people, Your
Mom.
Honor.
When did you first hear about Mr. Moore being a possible biological father?
The first time I heard about it was kind of weird because I was young and I was just told that he's not your father.
Your Honor, excuse me, Your Honor, if she thought that, why would it take her 36 years?
Because no one lets me talk.
Wait, I want her to finish the story because
Nobody lets me talk. I mean, never. What kid doesn't want to know their father? What little girl doesn't want to know her daddy?
So I want to understand this. You were told specifically, Mr. Moore is not your father.
Yes, by my mother.
Did you ask the question? How did this come up?
She had just told me one day, because, I used to go back and forth from Michigan to Arkansas. So I guess she felt that if I went down to Arkansas, I might see him.
Your Honor,
So she came to me and
Let her
told
finish.
me that if a Vernon ever came to you and told you that he was your dad, tell him to get out your face, leave you alone, and he's not your father. So,
And that's Mr. Moore.
Mr. Moore, yes.
So you were told as a child, if someone comes up to you and says he's your biological father, just tell him to get out your face.
Get out my face, leave me alone, you're not my dad. And it's like, who is Vernon? Who is Mr. Moore?
Did you ask that question?
Not at the time. I was a kid. I just listened to what she said. My whole life has been very empty. It really has.
I understand. I often say in this courtroom, when people say to me, I did not have my father and I felt like there was a missing piece,
And it really
I
does.
say it because I have had my father and he is loving and kind and my #1 fan. And I could not imagine my life without him in
And
it.
that's all I want.
And when you say, I never had that, I feel for you because I know what you're missing. I really do. And I see the tears in your eyes,
Other
even at
people
36.
take it for I'm glad that you can say you had your father, but you have empathy to know how I could feel about it.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of people have their fathers and they'll look at me like, I don't even like my daddy. Girl, you better without him. No, I could be better with him because I was looking for love in all the wrong places. I sat up and got with somebody at 17, about to get out of school, had a baby. That stopped me from going to the Air Force. Really just ruined my whole life. I love my daughter. She didn't ruin it. I did by making a mistake like they did. I'm 36 years old. I deserve to have a father. My kids deserve a grandfather. My grandson deserves a great grandfather. I never said she didn't love me. But if you really love your kid, my love is a little deeper than that. And I'm gonna do anything for mine.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but don't believe that sympathy role. This kid, her and Mr. Moore are compulsive liars.
How am I a compulsive liar when
Everything
I never
I did,
had a
I raised
dad?
my daughter. I got pregnant at 15.
How is that a lie?
I raised her by myself without a dad. Yes, she has the right to know who her dad is, Your Honor, ma'am. But I don't think it's Mr. Moore.
Okay, I wanted to submit some evidence, Your
Ron, may I see
Honor,
that,
that
please?
shows, that I think helps me prove that he's my father.
Okay.
First I have
Gray hair.
a birth certificate.
This
Okay.
is a birth certificate, you said?
Yes, that was my original birth certificate right there. On the father's spot, it has a signature. Now, when I looked at that, I seen that the signature looked new. It didn't look as old as my mom's signature on there. But I'm a kid, so I went along with it. Last year, I needed to get a new ID. So I go to get a new ID, and they told me that my original birth certificate there was not good enough. I needed to get the new one. When I got the new birth certificate, it did not have a father's name on it. Not at all.
Really?
So that led me to believe.
Your Honor, where's this new birth certificate?
I sent it
I've
in.
never heard of it until now, Your Honor.
I sent it in. It
She's
does
lying
not
again.
have a. So that's the other man's signature on that birth certificate.
I know that handwriting. Hey,
He
look
told
like
me
you
he did
forged
not
it
sign
like
a
you
birth
forged some other
certificate for
stuff
me.
long time ago.
Who are you saying forged it, Miss Arms?
Miss Robinson.
Oh, you think your daughter forged
Me?
a name?
Yes, ma'am.
You gave me the
I
birth
gave you that
certificate
with
when
no
I was
signature.
12.
I didn't give you
to
that
work
with
at
no
the beauty
signature like
salon.
that.
Mom, it had a
Of course,
signature on it when you gave it
I
to
didn't give
me.
you that when you were 12, Your Honor. When they got a certain age,
We start
18
working.
and up, that's when I start giving my kids the birth certificate.
So wait, when you give it to her, does it have a signature or doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
No, ma'am. Whatever.
And I also have evidence why I think we look alike.
So
You
this
have
is
not
a
supplied me with the
picture of
file. Me and Mr. Moore.
you on the left and Mr. Moore on the right.
And I also have another picture of our noses, Your Honor, when I was younger.
Oh, Lord.
This
'Cause I
is
had no
side
pictures
by
of
side.
anybody. Every time I look in the mirror, ever since I looked at his pictures, I feel like Mr. Moore with a wig on. So if that ain't what it is, I need to be proved wrong today.
And Ms. Robinson, you have premature graying,
Yes, that's why I covered it today.
and you say Mr. Moore had it.
All over his head, ever since the first time I ever saw him when I was 12. That man had gray hair already.
And so you've submitted evidence that states individuals who have a family history of premature gray hair have a higher risk of having premature gray hair themselves.
I don't have a daddy to compare that with. I don't know his history. So how would I know it came from my father? So I want to know who my father is. I feel this man is my father. He's saying he's my father. God, I look like him. What more do you want?
How did this relationship with Mr. Moore begin? What was your relationship with him?
Young, dumb, and stupid. My mother was never there, and I'm running around young like a chicken with her head cut off, searching for love, and got caught up in a web that I'm regretting to this day because throughout all this,
Bad kids.
my daughter has suffered, and I'm here today to try to help her out and stop some of this suffering.
But she don't think he's my dad.
No, not at all.
But you admit to a sexual relationship with him.
Yes, ma'am.
How long was this relationship?
Oh, Your Honor, I'm so old now.
You know, this is the thing, Your Honor, this is what it is. Everybody put it to the back of their mind.
I would say maybe
So they don't want to think about it.
years at the most.
Actually, Mr. Moore has joined us.
Thank God.
Today, he is here
Thank
in
God.
court.
Oh,
And
thank
Ron,
God.
I'd like to have you escort Mr. Moore into the court.
I did.
It should.
Thank you.
Witness stand.
Don't think you just a mess. If he always told me he was my daddy.
Gray hair there, make it
But
your
if you
dad.
want to be my daddy, you should have been there.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us. You know, we're here for Jennifer, Miss Robinson, and she's indicated through her testimony that you believe you are her biological father. Do you?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
You do?
Yes.
Tell the court why.
Well, Your Honor, she used to babysit her sister's kids, and I used to go there a lot, and we were having sex a lot. It wasn't no little bit. It's true. And so a few months later, I know a little pouch on her belly. I said, are you pregnant? She said, yeah. I said, could it be mine? She said, it could be, maybe not. Which I already knew about somebody.
That is a lie, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
At least
How do you
you
remember a
tried.
pouch?
Yeah, at least.
Wait, please.
You about like five
What are you
months.
talking about?
Hold up,
She
hold
ain't
up.
yours.
Your Honor,
That
would
gray hair
can
you got don't make her yours either.
Can you ask her?
Try
Okay,
some
Miss
hair.
Harms, let him finish his testimony.
Later on, I heard that her father said whoever got her pregnant, he was gonna do something to him. I kind of backed off a little bit. I wasn't afraid, but I backed off. I wanted to be in her life. But she took her away when she was like 4 or 5, then got married, ran off. I always have said she was my daughter. Cause she
You
looked
just
like
believed it.
I believed it.
And because
I
of the
was there.
time, because you were there, and when she got pregnant, you knew it was around the time that you all were having all that sex
Yes.
as teenagers.
I was there a lot.
And you,
Young and dumb.
Young and dumb and wild.
okay, that's enough of that testimony. We can move on to
Yeah.
the next point. I get it.
Yeah.
So the point was, you remember the time frame.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. I hate that I wasn't in her life a lot. You know, I missed that. You know what I'm saying?
Because I really miss you.
And I can see that that hurts
if
you.
you are.
Yeah.
Did you try to be involved in Miss Robinson's life?
Yes, I did.
How?
I talked to her grandmother a lot. Like one time, I said, "How Jennifer doing?" And she said, "But she needs some shoes." I gave her $50 in. I wasn't making a lot of money, but she out here to back me up. But then
And
they
so
not
you
together
would
now.
inquire about Miss
Yeah, I
Robinson.
would.
So earlier in Miss Robinson's testimony, she said that at 7 years old or so, her mother basically said to her, when you're in Arkansas, if a man named Vernon, which is you, Mr. Moore, comes up to you and says that he's your biological father, tell him to get out your face and leave you alone. Why do you think she'd say that?
'Cause I didn't have anything to do with her no more.
And when I seen him when I was 12, that's exactly what I told him.
Yeah,
You remember that day?
I remember.
He pulled up on me. I was walking to the store. He said, hey, girl, I'm your daddy.
You said, I'm your daddy?
Yeah.
I said, what's your name? He said, Vernon. I'm like, oh, that's Vernon. You ain't my daddy. My mama told me to tell you to leave me alone. He said, girl, I'm your daddy. Your mama crazy. He handed me like $200-something. I went and bought fireworks and pizza.
Miss Holmes.
That was a lot of money to me.
Cause like I said, I broke her heart. Okay, that's what it's all about.
You
I
say you
believe
broke
that.
her heart.
That probably what caused I moved out with somebody else, you know. And plus, I've been hearing about who she was sleeping with this and that. You know, I was too. So I just moved on.
And so how are you feeling when you hear this testimony? When you hear this man, your whole life, he thought he was your biological father. He even wrote up on you and said, I'm your daddy. How does that make you feel?
I feel happy about it because somebody's actually trying to claim me when I feel like I was just a piece of trash on the side nobody wanted to claim. I feel like I look like you.
I agree.
Clear as day.
And I'm sorry I wouldn't live your life a lot.
And I really want to know. I really want to know. This is the
And
end
we
right here.
have those results for you.
Oh, Lord.
Good.
Yes.
And no matter
Oh, I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
The envelope,
Lord.
please, Ron.
I hope he is my daddy. I really do. Because I really need a dad. I really, really do.
Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of Robinson versus Harms, when it comes to 36-year-old Jennifer Robinson, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Moore, you are not her father.
Oh, my God. Dude, who is my daddy?
Who did I tell you was? You just gray hair gonna do
I would
it.
help you with 2 months. It's
That
not
is
just
so
what you're
wrong.
talking about.
Are
you mean
you
men too much?
serious?
It was
I
too
can't
much.
believe you don't know my life is, so don't speak on it. Because I wasn't with no whole lot of men. You was just the first one way down
God.
at 15. That's why you
cannot
great.
believe he is not my
I tried to
dad.
tell you, he ain't your dad. But no, I'm lying.
I cannot.
So let's go get the other one and come right back here and do this again.
Then you gotta
Listen.
come back again.
My courtroom is always open for you, Miss
tell
Robinson.
you,
If there is someone else you'd like to
Serious,
test.
Vernon. I'm really just
They
nobody's
still
child.
love you. Cause they said it was.
Oh my God, I cannot believe this.
We have counseling for you and resources. I wish you all the very best of luck. Please help your daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
Help her.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Court is adjourned. Jennifer, can you come up to the bench, please? Come up to the bench, sweetheart. Miss Robinson, take a breath. I saw in your eyes you had convinced yourself and you really wanted this to be true, sweetie. I know.